Welcome again to Hope Dealing. We are in Exodus chapter 3 as we talk about Exodus. I shared with you that this is first of all an example of God's salvation, that it's not just about what God did, but it's about who God is. As preachers say, the isness of God. He's a God that saves. And then last time we talked about the expressions of God's devotion. God says, I have heard, I've seen, I know, and I've come down. But now I want to talk about the excellence of God's direction. I think that there's something to this statement in verse 8. He says, so I've come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up from that land to a good and large land. So God is not only interested in getting them out of trouble. Matter of fact, I know some Christians that think that's all of what God does. And that's why when they get baptized, they don't do anything else. No, God not only wants to get you out of Egypt or out of sin, but he also wants to bring you up. I could do a whole lot with that, bring you up. He don't want you in the vicinity of your captivity. Doesn't want you in the place, near the place where your heart might go back to where you came from. He wants to bring you out and then bring you up. I think that statement for them is a statement again about who God is, that he wants to deliver us, but he also wants to develop us, right? And he says, I've come to bring them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up from that land. Then he says, to a good. So out, up, and to. And I'm going to tell you how important this is. The journey did not have to take as long as it did because of their wickedness. Probably maybe a 2.5 week or 3-month journey turned into 40 years. But guess what? God stayed with them the whole way. Why? Because he said, I'm going to bring you out of the hand of the Egyptians. I'm going to bring you up from that land, and I'm going to bring you to a large land overflowing with milk and honey. This is the land of Canaan. And the picture is that God's direction not only gets you out of Pharaoh, not only brings you up out of that land, but will bring you to the promised land. And I think in like manner, God not only wants to get us out of sin, God not only wants to develop us, but God wants to bring us to a place of optimal performance. I know you wanted me to say heaven. We'll talk about that next time on Hope Dealing. We'll see you then. God bless.